I've been talking to myself this whole time. Good morning. I'm all over the place. Good morning. Good morning. I'm sorry. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm going to say everything that I said before because clearly y'all couldn't hear me and I was talking to myself. Good morning. First of all, trenches. Don't talk about me being late every day. There's a reason this morning, okay? And I'm going to explain it again since I explained it to myself. Oh, it's Wednesday. See? Shit, I'm all over the place, y'all. Happy Wednesday, then. Today is just not the day. So, Amelia, no, I did kind of get sidetracked in Discord, but not from responding to people. So, let me explain again. So, this morning, I actually had some rhythmic issues. So, the reason why I was late to the stream is because I just started recording my sessions like maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Something just told me to start doing it. So, I had to stop the recording, go into Filmora, edit it so that I can upload it unlisted so I can send it to the head of support. Right before the open, I did see people starting to already complain about rhythmic issues, but you guys know I don't really pay attention to everyone else because sometimes it really just is people's devices, people's internet, and plus there's always going to be some kind of lag at the open, you know? So I don't really pay attention that much to it. However, right around, I don't know, maybe like 8:38, 8:39, I took 2 trades today, right? Took the first trade and it won, and I'll show you guys, actually, I can't show you guys the trade. Hold on, I'll show you guys the trade after I explain what happened. So the very first trade I won, but there was a little bit of lag on the exit, which I'm used to, so I wasn't really tripping too hard. You know, it'll tell me, you know, order filled or whatever for the TP, but I'll still see like the entry part like still continuing to go for a couple of seconds. That was fine. The second order, I actually had an orange ghost order right when the bar closed. A orange ghost order popped up, and then the take profit and stop loss also had ghost orders. So I ended up breaking even, thank God, because I would have lost anyway. But I was already gonna break even because I wasn't. First of all, my entry was a little bit further into the bar than I wanted, but also because you guys know I'm starting with this new little strategy with the point of control. I kind of felt like I didn't like where the point of control was for that particular trade anyway, so cool. Shortly after that, I was just sitting here looking and my charts froze. It froze for 15 seconds. And then about 15 seconds later, it froze for 30 seconds. And then 15 seconds after that, Rhythmic just completely logged me out. Around that same time, I looked in the Discord and there were people saying that Rhythmic was really, really bad on Quantower. And then there was someone else who said that they entered an order and their order was like 10 points, I think, below where it was supposed to be. And it was just a mess. So I had to stop my recording and do all of that stuff so that I could send it to the head of support so that they can look into it. So at first I wasn't going to trade and I wasn't going to stream, and I was on the phone with my best friend and I was like, no, I'm going to have to go do that because I already know that they're going to think that I'm being inconsistent. So I'm here. But I am going to trade my demo account though, because I don't want to risk anything with the account, especially if for whatever reason they don't consider it a widespread issue and, you know, they don't fix it if something happens again. So let me show you guys the trades that I did take, just so you guys can see that. And all right, let's put that there. So I was actually really looking forward to trading this morning. I decided to make a little bit of a change, and actually I'm not even paying attention to that particular indicator anymore. I'll talk about that. But yeah, so this was the first trade. Really nice trade. I was only in this trade for 2 seconds, you guys. Like, it just took off. Cool. So then the next trade was here, and we were pushing back towards a new session high, and the point of control was in the wick of the entry bar. And so when I got like the little spike and my entry ended up being a little bit low, I was like, ooh. When I think about the data that I have so far with using the point of control, it seems like most of the trades that have worked out so far, The point of control is in the wick of, in the body of the candle of the entry bar when we're coming back from a new high. So that's why I got out of it, and I'm glad that I did. So around here is when the data just completely froze. It was like around here, I think. And then all of a sudden, like all of these bars just started painting, and then we got frozen again, and then that was that. So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. But if you do trade with Rhythmic, please be careful today. I don't think I've seen any more lag spikes since then. However, I also was editing the video, uploading it to YouTube, putting timestamps in a message. So I could have missed more data spikes. So please, guys, just be careful if you're going to continue to trade. Please. I beg of you. But yeah, so that's where we're at. So hide that so it's not in the way. But yeah, so that's where we're at today. Let's see. And I'm not even sure if I had any more setups while I was doing all of that. I have no idea. I wasn't really paying attention. So if there were, oh well. Oh well. But yeah. No, I was not copy trading, thank goodness. And the only reason, remember, that I'm not copy trading is just simply because I am experimenting this week. So thank goodness I wasn't copy trading, but yeah. So hopefully they kind of figure that out. I was just getting the stream up and running and everything. Because I am thinking about starting to stream a little bit earlier. I think I told you guys that like 2 weeks ago. I probably won't start right before the open though, because I'll be a little discombobulated, I ain't gonna lie. But it's probably like 15 minutes early. Maybe. Somewhere around there. Excuse me. Somewhere around there. Alright, let me go back. I'm gonna scroll back real quick. And let's make this global so you guys can see what I'm scrolling back to. So I want to see if I did miss any trades while I was doing all of that. I do know for sure I missed this buy right here. So right now what I'm trying to figure out, and I was looking at this last night, I'm trying to figure out if I want to keep this trend magic on there. I kind of have a feeling that I'm not going to. I'm going to only keep the solar wind more than likely. However, I did go back and put my middle level back on there. Like months and months ago, I used to trade and have a minor, middle, and major level. So I think I want to put, well, I already have the middle level back on there. The only reason I might keep the trend magic is because sometimes when I'm looking for this particular trade where, you know, the minor trend is a downtrend and I'm looking for the early entry to change the minor trend back to an uptrend and vice versa, there's some times where the point of control is not where I want it to be in regards to where the minor level is, but it is on this trend magic. So I might have to keep the trend magic there just for that particular early entry. Now, the thing is though, with this particular trade, it broke even anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it on for the rest of the week. And anytime I have like an early entry for that, or I wouldn't say early entry, I have a valid entry based off of the trend magic, but I wouldn't have been able to get in based on the point of control not being where I want it to be for my minor level. I'm going to document that so that I know if I need to keep it for the early ones or if I'm okay with not having it. So we'll see. Let's see. What was this? That wasn't an entry because the prior high is right there. Ooh, I wonder. Let's see. It's looking like I might not have missed any trades. Oh, actually, yes, I did. Here's one right here, which I gotta see. Hold on. That would have been a full win. No trade there. No trade there. So it looks like I only missed one trade so far, but I could have possibly missed two others. One looks like a full win, one looks like a break even, and it's just how it was reacting off of my middle level. So I don't know. That's something that I added last night, and I didn't really back test per se. I just kind of went through the data to look to see if what was happening was what I wanted to see happen. So we'll see in regards to that. But let me turn this back off. But I just knew today was going to be a halfway decent day, y'all, because my very first trade was at 8:32. Y'all know when my first trade is in the first 5 minutes of the market opening, I know it might be a decent day. But then came the lag issues. So it sucks, but whatever. Yeah, I'll probably be copy trading again next week because Monday wasn't bad. I only lost $100. Tuesday wasn't bad. I was basically break even. I lost like $6 or something. So, and then today, technically, I'm positive. So we'll see how tomorrow and Friday goes because I am still going to stick with my take every trade. I did have to make a couple of adjustments to my cheat sheet since I'm not really paying much attention to this trend magic anymore. And it looks like, did I completely take? I did. So let's do this. Hold on. I know what I'm going to do. Let's take the trend magic off and put the solar wind back on because it's still the solar wind that's more important to me. So I'd rather y'all see that. And it's going to mess the zigzag up, but it'll be all right. It'll fix itself after a couple swings. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. But yeah, since I'm not really changing how I'm trading technically, that's why if tomorrow and Friday goes halfway decent, then I'll just get back to copy trading. I'll be copy trading all the accounts. We'll just go from there because nothing really changed. I'm still looking for the same pullbacks, the same divergence. I am a little iffy on how I want to deal with divergence right now, though. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know if I still want to trade the divergence where it's completely counter trend. So like this divergence here, you know, we're in an uptrend. It's an uptrend bias, and this is completely counter trend. Now, since we are in an uptrend bias, this would be the divergence that I would be okay with taking. So I am a little iffy right now. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see how I feel about that. But really it's just gonna be pullbacks to my minor level, pullbacks to the middle level, divergence pullbacks to the major level, and then those deeper pullbacks that go in the same direction of the overall trend bias. And we'll see if I want to do the complete counter trend divergence. But I feel like not taking the complete counter trend divergence, I'm still going to be able to get enough setups where it won't really matter. Because when I went back to yesterday's data, it looks like I should have had like, let me see. Once I added the middle level in, because I wasn't trading with the middle level yesterday. So I should have had like maybe 9 trades yesterday. I'm going to say 8 because I know one trade I did sit out of because it was so close to a level that I would have broken even at anyway. So 8 trades is not bad. It's not bad at all. Now, 2 of them would have been where I wouldn't have been filled on the entry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. It looks like it would have been 6 wins, a loss, a break even, and then 2 trades where I wouldn't have been filled. So, and yesterday I took 4 trades. One of them was invalid anyway, so we're not going to count that. But yeah, so I basically would have just had a couple of more trades than what I actually had. So we're going to see. We're going to see. It was Ninja from what he can see, not Rhythmic. He's looking more into it, but we need to put out some fires right now. So they're thinking that it's a NinjaTrader issue and not Rhythmic, but why would Rhythmic automatically log me out for a NinjaTrader issue? Just curious. Just curious. All right. What is that? Okay, what ifs? Trenches, yes, I'm on. And I ain't late every day, just, you know, the last week or so. But what you're not gonna do is judge me. No, I had rhythmic issues this morning, so I had to stop my recording and edit the video in a video editing software and upload it to YouTube unlisted for support. If you must know. Because what you're not gonna do is this. No, you're not. Well, overnight, I didn't have anything. I mean, yeah, but if you're not looking at the charts at the exact same time, I don't think you can count that, can you? I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Let's see if we can get a little rejection here and then have an immediate rejection right back up. I just want to see this little small pullback happen right around here. I don't want it to get too low because I don't want it to come and hit the prior high down here. So it has to be a real quick flip if it's going to go. Real quick. Oh, I don't know about a 1 bar pullback. I didn't ask for that. Oh, wait. We did have 9:30 news, right? I'm pretty sure. So I can't take a trade just yet. I remember hearing my news alarm go off. Okay, yeah. So I got to sit out anyway. 1, 2. And we pulled back too far. So it didn't even matter. Okay, why do I have so many message requests? Got muted in Apex, I can't. Alright, I don't even know what this person is talking about. No, I don't need you people continuing to message me back. Oh, actually. $5.16. All right. No trades right now. What is this level? 875. So yeah, no trades right now. Trenches, forget you. Good morning, Rio. Today is an overall what the fuck day. You're not liking this price action. Straight up garbage. NQ price action is making me sleepy. It's really looking like the S&P. That's what it's looking like. It's fine. It was only really relevant. It's been hours since I've purchased, but my Rhythmic account is not showing at all. Should I be waiting that long? All right, one more person. Come on, market. What is we doing here? I don't understand. All right, yeah, see, that's exactly what I thought. Why are we stuck in this little area? We've been here for almost 10 minutes. Just this. This is 10 minutes. Why? Just why? There's a lot going on though. There's a lot going on right here. Just different levels kind of all around each other. So maybe we'll get a breakout either way. Oh, you guys know what? Hold on, let me close this. No, I don't want to save it. Y'all want to see when I was having issues? All right, so you guys can see there was, what the fuck just happened to my computer? There was the first entry right there where it won. I did not record that. So you can see orange order. Then it was like a slight little orange order lag on the stop loss and take profit. But again, I was getting the stream ready because I actually was gonna start streaming early, and then I'm like, wait, what is going on? So you guys can see, like, literally nothing's happening. Then all of a sudden, all the data just pushes in. So then I'll keep it up because in about like 30 seconds, it's gonna, well, you can see we froze again. right? I didn't even realize there was another freeze in between time. I thought it only froze like at 5 minutes and 25 seconds and then again at 6. So there were 3 freezes technically then. All right, so all the data just pushed through. And y'all can see I'm like over here super confused. Look at my eyebrows. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? So then here comes the next freeze. We're stuck. And I was on the phone at the time. I wasn't talking to myself. FYI. I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy. So I'm like, my charts are frozen again. What the heck is going on? This freeze was like 30 seconds. I'm over here super confuzzled. Okay. Data just pushes in out of nowhere. So then in like 10 seconds, you guys are going to see that my Rhythmic is going to log me out. There's the log out. But they said that they couldn't find any issues. It seems like a NinjaTrader issue, even though there were people reporting it on Quantower as well. And again, if it's a NinjaTrader issue, why was I logged out of Rhythmic automatically? I didn't touch anything. Just logged me out. Yeah. Is Apex using Investopedia's definition of dollar cost averaging? Good morning, Traderish Chick. Good morning, good morning. It's a chop fest, Janelle. Good morning. I don't know what definition they're using. All I know is for them, they just don't want you adding to losers. So if you're in a losing trade and you add one time, you can add one time up to the number of contracts of your initial trade. So if you're in 5 minis on your initial, you can add one time anywhere from micros up to another 5 minis, and that's it. You cannot continue to add and add and add and add over time. That's the only thing that I know, because I don't know if, does the FAQ have, I know it's probably in the, is it the consistency one? Let's go look. Let's go look. Oh, they've actually updated this, because I remember it did not look like this before. Yeah, when did they update this? 5 days ago. I figured. Okay. See, I didn't even read all of this. I did see the whole thing about stockpiling discounted backup evals. I did see something of, I saw somebody say something about that, but I wasn't paying attention to them. Let me see. Access to company risk capital scenario is a great opportunity to partner with Apex for a trader funding relationship, but this is oftentimes misused, abused, and taken advantage of to blow through risk capital, forcing all risk and loss on the company while trying to set up windfall payouts to schemers. This is not a scenario the company can allow for potential move to a live funded account. This is the opposite of disciplined, consistent traders. Trading with no stop and letting the trailing threshold limit below the account strategy is prohibited. I'm not going to say what I wanted to say. Taking advantage of company sales promos to stockpile discounted backup eval accounts to use and abuse to cycle through for full stop loss in attempt to gain is a prohibited strategy and will not result in funding or payouts but in forfeit. So it sounds like you can still have them backed up, but as long as you're not abusing, like you're just blowing PAs and having them sit, having evals ready to just activate again. Okay, every good trader, a good system uses stop losses in some way or form. Every pop firm requires some type of stop, target, or trailing and risk management rules. Every true system or strategy has a set amount as an initial stop loss upon entry, especially scalping strategies. For example, going for a 10 tick scalp profit target having an initial stop of 30 ticks. With trending or longer term strategies, the exact target is not always known. The market could go 10 ticks or 10 points. This is where it is important to have an initial stop loss the initial amount you are willing to risk in order to see the potential gain you could make. It's always recommended to trail your stops. Risk management, risk to reward ratios between 3 to 4 times the amount of potential targeted profit targets are acceptable without red flag. Slight overages will be reviewed and acceptable based on consistency, history, no existence of prohibited activity or account cycling. Okay. Mental stops are there. Where's the DCA part? Prohibited. This is not trading but gambling. Scaling, adding into trades. Boom. Trader may take initial entries according to strategy or system entry rules and add into it as the market moves their bias direction. For example, that's adding in when you're in profit. Okay, so let's look at DCA. Dollar cost averaging for this contract is defined as the practice of entering a trade with a directional bias or no bias, just entering to gamble, and the market goes against you in the other direction, but continuing to enter more and more orders multiple times in the direction of the original order, even while the market continues to go the opposing way. Note, this is the opposite of the example above, scaling into winning trades and adding more when you are right versus adding in more and more when you are wrong in hopes of a turnaround, and to make up some losses from the initial entry being in the wrong direction are two very different scenarios. The use of dollar cost averaging with multiple additional entries is prohibited and in breach of the Apex PA account and can result in forfeit and closure of the account. For example, you enter long and the market immediately moves 10 to 20 ticks short against you. Your open P&L is negative and showing an unrealized loss currently. The market could continue going against you, or it could have simply pulled down for a moment and may turn back in your favor. You do not know. So every so many ticks it goes against you, or every time you hit a certain level it goes against you. So I did see a video yesterday where the person was saying, oh, I wasn't doing that. I just was scalping while I'm still in the initial trade. And whenever it would hit a new level, I would just enter a new trade and scalp and try to get my way back. It's still the same thing. No shade, no tea, no shade. But that's the same thing. It just is. There's no way you can get around it. It's the same thing. Because at the end of the day, your initial trade was wrong. And even though in futures, it's a first in, first out. So once you get into the new trade, it's going to basically look like you possibly exited the previous trade. It does not matter. At the end of the day, your initial trade was wrong and you continue to add and add and add. I also saw the person say that they don't use the account as the stop loss, even though they've consistently said that, and I don't understand why the verbiage is now starting to change. And this is no shade. I really like this person and their content, but we got to be honest about what we've been saying, and this is why you have to be very careful about what you're saying when you're putting the information out there publicly. All right. Permitted and accepted use of DCA scenario. Apex will allow traders to enter one additional entry only into an open position that currently has a negative P&L, but only a single additional entry execution after the initial entry, not multiple additional entries. Contract size of the additional entry is not regulated and is at the discretion of the trader. Just be sure to keep good risk management practices. DCA has always been prohibited and listed as prohibited in the Apex PA contract, which is true. An FAQ on the website. This allowance for one additional entry is an update and an easing of the restrictions. And honestly, you guys, I'm cool with that, because like we talked about before, at the end of the day, people just have to be okay with being wrong. And it's okay. Let's see. Contractor cannot place, because I did see somebody also say that the open range trade is now prohibited. So let's see. Contractor cannot place a non-directionally biased trade based on bracket orders in both directions. Boom, there you go. Now, if you have a bias and you just enter manually on that bias, it sounds like you can still trade the open. Don't hold me to that, because I don't work in payout and I'm not going to be the person that can approve your payout for it. But it sounds like as long as you're not doing what people were doing before, where they enter bracket orders based on, I think the whole thing was they was basing it on the previous minute candle because they were trading on 1 minute candles, and they would put the bracket orders there and they would just let it go either way. So it sounds like you cannot do that. And it also sounds like there were some people that were trading for people as well, because it talks about some mirror trading, and trades have to be taken by the person who owns the account and stuff like that. So we kind of figured that, honestly. But yeah, so they made up a definition. This is their version of DCA, I guess. Let me see. Let's go to Investopedia and see what Investopedia says dollar cost averaging is. Investopedia dollar. Dollar cost averaging is a strategy that can make it easier to deal with uncertain markets by making purchases automatic. It also supports an investor's effort to invest regularly. DCA involves investing the same amount of money in a target security at regular intervals over a certain period of time, regardless of price. By using dollar cost averaging, investors may lower their average cost per share and reduce the impact of volatility on their portfolios. It seems like they took this definition and just made it a little bit more defined, because technically this kind of was what people were doing. It might not have been automatic purchases, but it is what people were doing though. Like they would just look and see, okay, I'm in a sale. So at the very next resistance level, because price has gone against me, at the very next resistance level, I'm going to enter a trade again. And if it goes against me at the next resistance level, I'm going to enter the trade again. And by doing that, it is their attempt to, stupid pop-up, it is their attempt to lower their cost per share. It is their attempt to do that because over time, I actually used to have a Forex bot that did this, and I absolutely hated it because I don't like seeing red like that. But that's what it would do. It would enter a trade. I guess is it technically just martingale then instead of DCA? Is that what it is? Hold on, martingale strategy. Okay, so this more so seems like it's the martingale strategy, not DCA, but I feel like the martingale strategy is a form of DCA though, because even with the Forex bot, it was doing the same thing. Like at certain levels or at certain intervals, it would just continue to add into that losing trade until eventually, once the initial trade went so far into profit to where by the time you take the profit and you subtract the losses from all the initial entries, then you would end up like a little bit break even or a little bit in profit across the trade because it's all still the same trade. So like on Investopedia, it says that the martingale strategy requires doubling down on a losing bet and continuing to continue to add every time it loses. At some point, the gambler will win and will recoup the entire loss plus a profit. This is a statistical fact. The problem is guaranteeing that 100% chance of winning requires deep pockets. So to me, it's a combination of martingale and DCA. To me, that's what it sounds like to me. So John was in the Discord giving some of the scoop. They finally caught some of the prop firms and people doing bad stuff. He's making a video on it. You come out better just taking the hit or reverse your position to avoid the backlash. Absolutely. Just get out. It's okay. It's okay. Just be okay with being wrong. We're all wrong at times. It just is what it is. But I don't know. That type of trading has never been anything that I was okay with. That's why even though I did make some profit from the Forex bot, I ended up not shutting it down, but I canceled my subscription because I just don't like that form of trading, whether it's manually or automatically. It just does not make sense to me and it never will. And I don't want it to. I just don't. Bracketing open range is no bueno. It's martingale. The next support is not time based. Good morning, Husk. Good morning, Sue Trades. Yeah, it's not time based, so it's not like an automatic entry like DCA says. Yes. And that's why I said I think that it's just martingale, because martingale just seems like dollar cost averaging, except you're entering at a certain level versus over a certain period of time. Because it seems like with dollar cost averaging, when you're doing it in stocks, is okay, every month I'm going to buy this stock no matter what the price is, because I know that over time I'm going to end up, making a profit. That's what DCA seems like. So it seems like DCA is more so for stocks, and then the martingale strategy, which is a form of DCA, seems like it's more for day trading, basically, is what it seems like to me. I'm just very particular on verbiage. Yeah, I mean, maybe they need to just call it the martingale strategy. And I could reach out to support and just maybe possibly suggest that, like, hey, maybe instead of calling this DCA, you should just call it martingale, because technically DCA is based on time and is really more so for stocks, and martingale is more so based off of levels, and is typically what traders use, like day traders. You can technically DCA, because can't you enter? Yeah, technically you still can DCA in futures though. No, because even if you put the orders in to trigger at a specific time, isn't it because it's a first in first out, it's still gonna attach them to each other and like move the average? I do know that it'll move where your actual initial entry is. I don't know. But either way, we'll just call it martingale here instead of DCA, because that's really what it is. It's really what it is. All right, we're starting to get somewhat of a breakout up. Thank goodness, because we were stuck here for way too long. Now, let me see something. I'm trying to look at where my levels are. Don't really want to take that. So really what I'm looking for is just the first pullback in this uptrend. I'm not really looking for divergence at all. Yeah, I'm not looking for divergence. What I am happy about is with me changing how I'm trading the volume, I am now able to trade going back to different levels, which is so important to me, because I used to miss out on so many trades when I was trading the other way, because all right, in my regular pullback, I can't trade it because the previous bar hit a VWAP level or something like that. So I am happy about that. Speaking of VWAP, the VWAP levels are very close together, which is another indication that price action has sucked since the market opened last night. Because it should not be that way. It should not. Now, how do we want to do this? I think I'd rather make sure all the levels are in order. I don't like this one bar pullback because my middle level is in front of my minor level. So it's like middle, minor, major right now. And I want the minor to be in front. So we'll see how this trade turns out, because I'm not going to take it. And there's the loss. So how I was thinking was right. Levels are still not in order. So I'm probably going to need it to push up to like 830. In order for me to look for buy pullbacks to get into. It's not the same thing. It's still first in, first out. Yeah. If you have to be flat at the end of the day. Well, yeah, that's true as well. They should write no grid, averaging down, or martingale. Yeah, online safety. That's what I was saying. I think that they should just change DCA in the contract and in the FAQ to martingale, because that's really what it is. Just saying, if they denied a payout for DCA and was sued because it's not DCA, that's why they say for this contract. So they made up a definition instead of just finding what it really is. I just been watching a lot of lawyer shows and talking to my cousin who just passed the bar. Okay, that's your problem. Go do something else with your time. No, I feel you though. They do need to just say martingale. Yeah. But I am happy though that they did make the change to this particular FAQ, because I feel like with certain rules, okay, I am a huge proponent of having rules that are not super strict. For instance, like the 30% consistency rule. I like the fact that if you break that 30% consistency rule, but you can prove that, hey, I just had a really good day, the market was great, it wasn't like this shitty price action that we've been seeing for the last couple of weeks, then all right, cool. I like the fact that they're not so strict with that. But there were certain rules that I did feel like need to be more strict, and, you know, including the open, because before, when you looked at the FAQ, when it came to the open trades or whatever, the previous FAQ, let me go back and find it. All it said was news trading, chasing the market, taking advantage of breakouts with no directional bias system, morning open breakout trading, non-directionally biased breakout bracket trade. No, they added that. Any attempt for windfalls without following a strict set systematic trading system that is traded normal day to day in the account is prohibited. So the problem was, and actually, let me hold on, because I'm about to go find something. So I just talked about this yesterday, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. From myself and yeah, okay, so technically, right, because the initial definition said taking advantage of breakouts with no directional bias system, technically that was letting you know that you could not trade the morning open breakout the way that people were doing, because it is no directional bias system if you have bracket orders, right? However, I'm glad that now they make it very clear that, hey, you cannot have bracket orders in both directions, because for a lot of people, when they read it the way that it was before, they wouldn't read that as, oh, I can't trade this with bracket orders. They weren't reading it that way. And what really bothers me is some of the traders, which some of them are influencers. There's one influencer who I guess he's like super pissed off about it, and all he's been doing is, from what I heard, because I don't go to his channel, I never have, it's not the content that I like, but I was told that, you know, he's been making certain videos which has just been causing drama and all of that, and it has to do with him being pissed off that now the open range trade is being enforced. And my thing is, if rules were already there and you were just taking advantage of the fact that they didn't have the staff to enforce the rules, how can you truly be mad at no longer being able to trade in a way where it was prohibited to begin with? That's what irritates me. Like, you knew that you were taking advantage of this, so why are you mad? The DCA stuff, nothing was new. They just specifically state now that you can only add one time. So how can you be mad at that? And then you have people who are like, that's the only way. So now you want me to have a perfect entry. Nobody asked you to do that. Nobody asked for a perfect entry. But how come we can't just go back and say, all right, look, even if they said that I can't add at all, which you can add once, even if they told me that I cannot add at all to my losing trade, why isn't the thought process, what can I do to backtest my strategy to figure out why my entries are so early? Is there an indicator that I can add? Is there like some kind of price action? Let's say that you trade support and resistance or supply and demand. Is there some kind of, maybe I need to go to an even lower time frame, right? And look for, let's say that I'm entering a supply zone. Instead of me entering right at the touch or whatever, or instead of me entering as some kind of price action on that particular time frame, maybe if I'm trading supply on a 15-minute chart, I'll drop down to a 3-minute chart or a 5-minute chart, and I look for a lower high to be made, that kind of structure inside of that zone, and that's when I enter, and maybe that's my more precise entry. Why can't that be the thought process? I don't understand. I just don't. And a lot of these people were literally just taking advantage, and they even said it in their videos. They were taking advantage of the way that prop firms work. So why not just take the time over time, even if you're getting payouts? Why not over time take the time to try to figure out how to perfect your strategy so that you don't have to worry about certain things? Because the reality is we don't know if the prop firms are going to be here forever anyway. So if you wouldn't trade a certain way on your personal account, why not use the prop firms for however you're trying to use them, but over time you're perfecting your strategy so that if you ever decide that you want to go to a personal account, or if futures props ever just completely go away, you have a strategy that you can actually use on a personal account and be successful with. Why can't that be a thing? I don't get it. I legit don't get it. And people bother me with their thought process. I just don't get it. I don't. It should be 50 though. If I have a $500 loss day and the next day I make $1,000, now I'm punished for recovering and continue to trade. Like, oh, you made too much money. You only make $400 a day. Go back to that. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the consistency rule being 30%, but I mean, don't most other prop firms have a 30% rule as well? When the ones who do have a consistency rule, I feel like when I looked at a few other prop firms, they use a 30% as well. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, because y'all know I don't pay attention that much and my memory's bad. But I don't know, because I feel like the 30% consistency rule only screws you when you do have a losing day. And you, like, if you have a losing day and the next day the market is really, really great, then yeah, you can kind of screw yourself a little bit. But if you don't have like a super horrible losing day, I don't think it really affects you that much. But then at the same time, they are kind of lenient with it, so you could still be okay. I don't know though. You trade supply and demand, so you can end up being 30 points. If you don't have multiple entries, you might miss your trade. Yeah, because most people are big babies. They are. They are. Top step is 50%. I got you. Yeah, I mean, there's, every prop has their zhuzh. They have their pros and their cons. I mean, having a larger consistency rule, but you only allow me to have but so many accounts, is it really worth it? But that's why I think that most people, if you have the desire to, you should kind of spread yourself out amongst other prop firms just for that alone. Because if you do decide, like, all right, let me just make sure that I stay within the 30% consistency rule so I don't have to worry about a human denying me because I was at 40% or whatever. Well, if you just keep up with your profit every day and it's like, all right, I know I can't make more than this amount, then, and if you still want to trade for that day, you could just switch to one of your other props at the time. So it just really just kind of depends. It does. All right, I'm going to get into this buy if this bar closes up. We'll see how this trade turns out. I'm glad we finally broke out of whatever that little mess was. All that little let's see how we end up doing going back towards this session high. Point of control is in the body, which is where I would prefer it to be, but I still don't know how I want to trade going back towards the session highs and lows. So we'll just kind of see what's up. Y'all, why does the 5-minute chart look like that? This is so disgusting. What is this? What is it? Yucky, yucky. Alright, what I don't like is the point of control for this bar is underneath the VWAP right now, so we're probably going to push off of it going down, which is not good. Not good at all. Alright. This is another reason why I'm happy I am on Sim, because even if I didn't continue to have rhythmic issues, I was going to go on Sim because I missed trades in between time. And y'all know how I am. I cannot stand when I either sit out of trades or miss trades. And now, you know, I'm taking losses and I don't have the wins from the trades that I missed to cover the losses. That would irritate me. So that's why I'm like, no, we're just going to sim it out. Because I was green when the issue started. We ain't even going to do that. People that don't even have a problem with the rules say that they won't go live, so they only hurting themselves because it's people like me that would go live if they were honest and made some changes, but oh well. You would go live with them? I don't know if I ever would go live with any company, honestly. I'm wondering if I should start breaking even when the zigzag changes when we're going back towards a session high or low. Only because there's already, you guys know I don't break even often anymore. Actually, I don't have to break even at the middle VWAP level or the middle pivot level anymore. The VWAP for sure. I don't know about the pivot. We don't really trade near there as much. And most of my trades, even when the zigzag changes, except divergence, I always get out if the zigzag changes. But with the regular pullbacks, I don't really. But I'm wondering if I want to start when we are going back towards a session high or low, because a session high or low is already going to give you some resistance, right? Resistance or support, whatever. So we already got resistance and I'm trying to push going back towards it, but the zigzag is telling me that there's too much seller pressure anyway in this swing. So that might be one of the times that I start to manually break even. I don't know. I'm just going to pay attention. When I journal my trades, I always do journal if the zigzag changes while I'm in the trade. So, and I always make a note on my charts as well. So if you ever start hearing me type while I'm in the middle of the trade, that's why. So yeah, I'll see how I feel about that long term, but that might end up being a thing. I just don't want to have, like, I used to have a scenario like last year sometime where every time the zigzag changed, I got out of a trade, and baby, let me tell you, I was breaking even all the time. So that's why I'm like, maybe only when we are pushing back towards, it could be possibly any level. Like maybe if the VWAP is here and they're like, if this wasn't a new session high, if the VWAP was there and I'm pushing back towards the VWAP and seller pressure comes in, I might have to do that. So I'll just pay attention to it, because there's not really much to pay attention to with this new way I'm trading. So I highly doubt that it's going to take me months to collect enough data to, you know, make whatever tweaks that I need to make, honestly, because there's not much changing anyway. It's just not. All right, let me go back to NVIDIA earnings are today. Got live data if we connected through Tradeovate without having to pay for it. I was reading something, sorry. But now I'm good, love. What he say? I'm good, love. Enjoy. Yeah, I just don't see the purpose when you could just trade a live account and not give your. I mean, I obviously don't know what the rules are and what, the profit splits or anything like that. But it just makes the most sense to me to just trade your own account and not pay professional data fees. That's the biggest thing for me. Like, if I can pay $4 a month, why wouldn't I do that versus paying $100+ a month? And I think it's per exchange, right? Well, I only trade one instrument, so it would just be $100+ a month, plus giving you a percentage of. No. Mm-mm. I just put my. Oh, I didn't see that sorry. I started reading the FAQ again, and I didn't even see that they define the contract size consistency. But yeah, I would rather just trade my personal account. Contract size consistency is a clear requirement in the PA contract. This rule does not require that every single trade entry always be the same exact contract size, no matter the situation. There may be times trades are added into, layered in, or micros added in with valid reason, or times the trader may use mini contracts and other times micro contracts. But overall size and correlation should be consistent on average over multiple trades. This is in generality and overall time. Why can't you just say just in general? What the heck? Not based on each and every trade individually. Take heart to understand the spirit of these guidelines. Inconsistency in contract size can be a sign of inconsistent trading. If the trader is following a systematic approach to trading, not gambling, not attempting windfalls, and not just executing a withdrawal strategy, then there's no reason for these consistency guidelines to be of any concern or risk. Apex will not accept questions or requests for feedback on every possible scenario of scale, size, situation, what if, or various systematic approaches. There's an unlimited number of scenarios. Simply understand and follow the spirit of this guideline to be in compliance. Be a trader, not a gambler or schemer. This will address 99% of any questions. Note the scenario below. It does seem like whoever's been writing this FAQ is not the same person who wrote the previous FAQ, because the previous FAQ was like, who wrote this? A kindergartner? All right. Those that start off trading in a new PA account. Oh, we're stuck here. With larger contract size in hopes of lucky trades, windfalls, or just to overcome trail and drawdown using large or max contract size, or trying to go for big move gains and create big profit balance in the account, then shift to smaller sizes will be disqualified. That's what I always tell people. If you're changing your contract size based on true risk management, meaning this is what my available drawdown is, this is what I'm risking per account or per trade, this is the percentage that I want to risk of my available drawdown every trade, and that's how your contract sizing changes, cool. If you change it based on A+ setup versus C+ setup, cool. But what you cannot do, and I've always told people, you cannot use 5 contracts, reach the payout threshold in 5 trading days, and then go down to 1 contract or even micros for the remaining 5 days. Like, and some people say, well, aren't I supposed to secure my payout? No, not according to them. And you got to work with their rules. So this is an attempt to work the system and usually results in many blown PA accounts in this windfall attempt until windfall is achieved. To avoid disqualification, contractor may be required to continue and trade 10 trading days at the same level of contract size and targets that were traded from the start to show consistency in size and average profits in order to be approved for a payout request. To start trading the account with larger number of contracts, make a simulated balance increase, then go down in contract size. Just trying to get a withdrawal is not a qualified strategy and is grounds for forfeit and payout denial. A growing balance does warrant a growing and steady increase in contract size as the account balance and cushion amount grow. That is normal. The larger the profit balance and cushion, the more contracts are used. That makes sense. A growing balance does not warrant decrease in size. This is not a valid strategy. This is fear of losing profit before withdrawal due to not having discipline in a strategy. Now, if contractor starts off trading larger size and does not make progress and the account balance decrease due to losses, then this situation does warrant the responsible and reasonable action of trading smaller size. Or once a withdrawal has been made and therefore a balance decrease with less drawdown definitely warrants smaller size being traded than before. Those that go through multiple PA accounts, always starting off big, either to blow it and try again or hope for a windfall, then figure out how to get to withdrawal time, is a gambler, not a trader. Apex has no interest in funding this style of behavior. It is agreed and understood that any style of trading like this is prohibited and will be forfeited and denied payout requests until consistency is shown or could result in a probation status. The way an account is traded from start must be maintained ongoing up to payout or increase with growth, decrease with loss, not the opposite. I'm cool with that definition. They've redefined quite a bit. Now, I can say what I do not like is their hedging and correlated instruments part. And I get why they have it that way, because there are people, I did see somebody come in Discord a couple of days ago, or it might have been Facebook. I think it might have been Facebook. I don't remember. No, it was Discord, because I remember one of the head moderators came in and responded. But he asked if he could, be long in NQ and short in ES at the same time. Now, the way he was describing it, he was trying to hedge. But technically, and I've seen Daryl say this before, technically though, if you're using the same strategy and it just so happens that they set up opposite, you're okay. Now, most of the time, if you're intraday swing trading, it's very highly unlikely that you'll have use the same strategy and have different directions in your instruments. But like for me, if I was to trade ES, right, I wouldn't be trading ES on a 16 tick chart. I would be trading ES on an 8 tick chart. So because the charts would be moving, at different speeds, there's always a possibility that I would be in opposing directions, which I would be able to prove that, hey, I'm using the same exact strategy, look, kind of thing. But yeah, I would trade swing option on my personal and trade futures with them. That makes sense. I take trades in my personal account maybe 3 times a month, get good setups only. But that's the way to do it. Until you feel more comfortable, until you have the capital that you want based on what your risk management is, that's the best way to do it. Like, I know eventually I'm going to go back to trading a personal account. I'm going to have to figure out how the hell I'm going to do it, because I wouldn't be able to. I would probably have to get Replicanto. No, yeah. I would probably, I don't know how I would do it, because see, I use my personal license on NinjaTrader. I don't use the Apex one. So I wouldn't be able to log into 2 NinjaTraders at the same time. So I would have to figure that out. But eventually I am going to go back to a personal account. Some days the market is moving 50 points in 1 minute. Yeah. Someone asked in the Discord, can I have 1 2K day, then lose money for the next 9 days and get paid? Listen, Amelia, some of the things that go down in Discord is the reason why I take breaks from Discord. Like, when I tell you legit, I've barely been in there for the last week plus. Now, part of it was because all of the drama that came with the rule enforcement, I just was over it, because why are we acting like children? It is what it is. It's always been in the contract, and you're just mad because they're enforcing something that they had the right to enforce because it was in the contract. That's number one. Number two, I also am not a fan of people being banned from the Discord for exhibiting the same behaviors that they see mods exhibit. I don't like that. And I made that very clear in the mod chat a couple of days ago. Like, yeah, I've taken a break because, to be honest with you, this is what's happening and this is how I feel. And I think that you guys should, if y'all want the main chat to not be so sassy, because let's just call it sassy. I don't care that they mean. If you don't want the main chat to be so sassy and to be so say some of the stuff that they say, then maybe y'all should stop doing it. Because all they're doing is, you can't say that they can't do it, but you can do it. I just don't like that. That's just me personally. I do not like it. And I had to make it clear to them that some of the people that y'all ban, when y'all show what they say to y'all, first of all, I don't have people talk to me like that in the Discord. Why? Because I don't talk to them like they're children. It's the same thing when I used to work in long-term psych at the state hospital. Whenever certain things would happen, like with these psych patients, these were long-term psych patients who had a history of issues since they were kids. Like when you looked at their history, their H&P, their history and physical, whenever you would look at like when they would interview their parents or guardians or whatever, and these people are in their 40s and 50s, they would always say that things started happening when they were children. Okay. So these are people who have had issues for a long time. Whenever some of them would spaz out, assault different staff members and things like that, there were times where after everything is said and done, after we've called the all available, after we've given shots, after we've calmed this person down, there were times where I had to pull my coworkers to the side and say, hey, let's go back through all of this. The reality is you provoke them. You don't speak to people like they're children. I don't care that these people are half out of their minds. Some of them think that they are part of the CIA. Some of them think they are Osama bin Laden's cousin. Some of them think that they are the president. Okay. But at the end of the day, they are still human beings, and they are adults, even though some of them act like children sometimes. So once you get to the point where because I even had a time where I remember I was working in the cottages and one of my patients wasn't even like, he wasn't on that level of psychotic where he's not aware of things. Like he just, whatever crime he committed, he just had a psychotic break. He was off of his meds, but he's in his right mind, if that makes sense. And I remember I was about to give him meds and he just started cussing out the tech that was working in the house with me. And the first thing that he said was, stop talking to me like I'm a child, because that is what people do, right? You think you have this notion that, you know, I'm above you, I'm whatever. And I don't like it. Some people in Discord act like children? Absolutely. Sometimes I want to tell them to shut the hell up? Absolutely. But do I do it? No. Do I get tired of people being grown adults and not going to an FAQ and reading it? Absolutely. But when someone asks a question, what do I still do? I post a link to the FAQ. I post a link to the FAQ. I might answer the question very briefly, but you need to go read. So that's like been my issue for sure. And it's been so many times that I did not want to be a mod anymore because I don't want to be associated with that. I just looked on Facebook a couple of days ago and there were so many posts in one of the unofficial groups about mods in Discord. So many posts, comments, and I'm just like, I'm literally associated with that because my name is whatever color. Red, orange. I think it's red now. Yeah, it's red now. I don't want to be associated with that. It's trash. It's very trash. I don't like it. Discord is organized chaos. It irks me to no end. I just stick to the announcement/notice page. Absolutely. It's organized chaos. That's what I used to call Twitter. It's organized chaos. People are so caught up on beating the system instead of learning to trade. Janelle, you spoke a word. You spoke a word. And I don't get it. I don't. I understand using an eval. If your desire is to trade with prop firms, I 1000% understand getting you an eval and using that eval to learn how you want to trade, and making sure that whatever system or strategy that you want to use will work with that particular prop firm's rules. Because there are people that, well, why don't you just practice on sim? Why don't you develop your strategy on sim? Because I don't have the trailing drawdown. That's why. I want to be in that environment. Also, it's so different psychologically trading on sim than it is on accounts where it matters. But there's too many people that are just trying to figure out how to get to payouts. If I can just get to payout. Yes, absolutely. You want to make your money back from whatever you're putting into this. But at the same time, can we still focus on figuring out how to trade? Most people don't care. They don't. I think it's wrong to interfere with traders' hedging strategies provided they are trading completely different instruments that are not based on the same spot market. Online safety, I agree with you as well. I think that certain rules are really just because of the people who, there's so many people who abuse the rules, where it's like, we just have to cut this off from everybody, even if you're somebody who's not going to be using it as like a gambling tactic and things like that. Right? Yeah, I just, because to me, I can understand why they do prohibit hedging, because if you hedge in the way that they're saying, where like, all right, I enter a buy on NQ, I enter a sell on ES, and that is your strategy to do that, that's kind of having what they technically call the non-directional bias strategy. It's kind of like having a bracket order, kind of like you have, if they typically move in the same direction, why can't you just be wrong on one of the instruments? You get what I'm saying? Like, why do you have to sell over here and buy over here because you don't know which way the market is going to go? Why can't you just enter the sell, be okay with if you lose over there? Why do you have to make your money back on a buy over here? I don't know. And then honestly, I personally would never do that with ES and the Nasdaq anyway, because by the time the ES moves the way that you want to, baby, you could have got into some buys, some sales, back into some buys and some sales before you got into that one buy on ES anyway. But I see both sides of it. I'm a very unbiased person. I see both sides of almost anything, as long as it's not something crazy and evil. But yeah. You thought hedging was done on the same symbol at the same time? No, most of the time you're doing it in different markets. And most of the time it's like ES and the Nasdaq. Most of the time people are going to do it with the indices. I wish I had left a runner on natural gas. I used to trade natural gas. Do you trade natural gas often? There's a YouTuber, I don't really know if he really be trading. People say that he do, but I don't know. But I feel like most of his trades are on natural gas because he talks about how linear it is. I haven't looked at natural gas in a long time. They need to be honest as well. Who need to be honest now, Trenches? They need to be honest about what? The hedging thing or what? Because some people trade the spread between two instruments like gold and silver. These are very old ways of trading, but I get you. Yeah, like I get it. And I get why people do certain things, right? But I also understand that if Apex's goal truly is to fund consistent traders, it makes sense why certain rules are in place. Because a lot of times, even when it comes to hedging, a lot of hedging is not typically done by people who are intraday trading. Depending. A lot of times it's more like swing trading. Not all the time, but a lot of times. So I've traded natural gas in the past and restarted recently. You like it more than that? Now, online safety, don't make me open up a natural gas chart. Don't make me do it. Do not make me do it. What's the current contract? $6.24. All right, cool. Hold, please. Don't tell me nothing like that. Let me see if I can get some halfway decent wrinkles though. What the heck? Oh, because I started it with the... Okay, there it goes. I really want to start looking back at golds and crude oil though, now that I'm kind of trading just a little bit different. Because I used to love crude oil and gold, honestly, but I just stopped trading it. And I loved them because they were so linear. Online safety. How many ticks are in a point on natural gas? I really... Yeah, see, ES definitely does not move enough for me to be able to trade the way that I trade right now. Like literally, maybe let's do 6. Nope, still needs more data. 4? No, I just saved that as my default. I didn't mean to do that. Oh yeah, ES is nasty. Me not like it. Yeah, if I traded ES, I would definitely trade it on a 4-tick chart. Oh wait, what am I doing? Girl, you is slow. Y'all, time went by so fast today. What? This market was ass. Oh, these people. Alright, sorry. 250 per tick. Gold and crude oil has some great setups in the past 2 months. I regret not trading them. I might start looking at it again. Hold on, because I need to delete this and 10 ticks is 1 point. Because usually the way that I like to determine what brick size I'm gonna always use a 1 tick trailing threshold though, but usually I determine my brick size based off of how many ticks is in a point. So, you know, for the Nasdaq, it's 4 ticks, but of course I'm not gonna have a brick size of 4 on no damn Nasdaq. That is literally impossible to trade. So that's why I used, as I was trying to figure out what brick size I wanted to use, I used multiples of 4, because I think it's really weird to have, like, let's say my brick size is 18 ticks. That means that the market has to move an odd, well, it still would be an even number of ticks, but you know, it's like a half of a point extra. And I don't like that. Where did that chart go? So like for ES, I used to trade it on an 8 tick chart, but you know, the way the market's been moving the last couple of weeks, an 8 tick chart wouldn't work long term. So if I was ever to trade the ES again, I would definitely trade on a 1 tick chart. Not a 1 tick, a 4 tick chart, and just kind of leave it at that. Hold on, I gotta delete something else. I'm just trying to look at the ES chart on a 4 tick chart real quick. That's just such a nasty chart. And I would legit just go for 4 ticks at a time. It doesn't look like it's set up at... Oh, well, actually... No, that one wouldn't count. That one wouldn't count either. Yeah, ES would have literally no setups today. Let me look at yesterday. Yeah, I just don't like ES. Not anymore. Not enough movement for me. And it's so crazy because years ago, baby, some of my best setups were on ES. I traded the Nasdaq years ago too, though. Yeah, I don't know about ES. Alright. That's not their only goal, because if they didn't have the constant failures, would they be able to pay out PA accounts off the live traders? I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt that too. I mean, I think that, well, obviously, I don't know how many people they're copying either. Take it, you know, take away the, oh shoot, I got the wrong contract, hold on. Take away the live traders, because honestly, almost every person I've ever heard of that was asked to go live declined. So I wouldn't even consider them at all. But it's no telling how many people they're copying. And if their goal is to try to copy as many people as they can, then, you know, I get it. I get it. But it's just really hard to say. It's hard to say the motives of them or any other prop firm. But I mean, obviously, yeah, they do need people to lose to a certain extent, because that's the only way that they're going to be able to pay out people to that magnitude. Gold is my best friend, then we break up because it's being mean to me. Then get back together again. We're broken up right now. I remember on gold, there was one particular little strategy that I had that I used to really love. And it pretty much was just playing off of the reversal on gold that would happen almost every day around, I think it was 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. It was either 9 or 9:30. There was almost always this reversal that happened, and I would just play off of that every day. And it worked out most of the time. And I think that I used to do it on a 20 and 2 chart. 20 and 2, because I wasn't trading with a 1 tick threshold back then. Oh, gold got some movement to it. I remember for a minute I didn't want to look at it anymore because I felt like it wasn't doing anything. Oh, look at that. Okay. All right, volume. What the We've literally been stuck. Okay, let me show y'all something. This started at 10:07 and literally has just been stuck here until now. 43 minutes. What the hell is this? Oh boy. Sounds like a romance novel. Yeah, that was a crazy drop. Was it the bond auctions? I don't know. I don't ever, let me see, investing.com. I never pay attention to the bond auctions because most of the time they don't show up on Forex Factory and they typically don't affect my trading. Nope. It said for today, the bond auction, the 20-year bond auction is at 12. Yeah, I used to look at investing.com, but there were a lot of ways that they define the impact that it was not defined that way on Forex Factory. And so, it would define it as medium or high impact on investing.com, and Forex Factory would be light impact or low impact. And with my trading style, it more so went with the light versus the medium or high. And then there were certain events that was on Forex Factory that wasn't on investing.com that actually affected my trading. And then there were ones on investing.com that was not on Forex Factory that did not affect my trading. So that's why I just stopped looking at investing.com and just stuck to Forex Factory. And then this is faireconomy.media or whatever. That's where the indicator pulls from. Trader Base having some issues. I wouldn't be surprised with the way that drop just happened. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyone waiting to trade on Nvidia earnings later this afternoon? Janelle, I ain't. I'ma be gone. Y'all, I worked out for the first time in probably like a month and a half, 2 months. I worked out yesterday. When I tell y'all my legs hurt, my ass hurt, my arms hurt, my stomach hurts, everything hurts. And I did want to walk on my treadmill on an incline. I think I want to do the 357 incline workout, except I'm gonna do it a little bit different, but I think that I want to do that. And I want to do that every day, but I only want to walk for like 15 minutes though. My goal is to walk on an incline for 15 minutes every day, work out probably 2 times a week. 3 times a week is kind of pushing it for me just because I be having things going on. Okay. And I feel like I could be way more consistent with 2 days a week. And to be honest with you, because I'm not like super out of shape or anything, and because I see results when I'm working out so quickly, because I do really targeted workouts, I know exactly how I want my body to look. So I know exactly what exercises to do, and my body already honestly looks how I want it to look. I mean, I got a little bit more pudge in my stomach than I want, and it ain't really a pudge. If I showed y'all be like, girl, what are you talking about? Your stomach is flat. Yes, I know, but it's not how I want it to be. But yeah, my body already looks the way I want it to. I just need to build muscle back up a little bit since I lost 17 pounds in a month and a half, like from February to March. So, but I am so sorry, y'all. I couldn't walk yesterday because my mom, I didn't know where she put the treadmill key. So I am gonna walk today and try to walk at least, maybe not every single day, but at least like probably every weekday. But I don't want to do the weekends because I know myself, like if I'm on vacation or somewhere, I'm not going to want to walk. And I would just rather do something that I know I can completely do consistently. Or like, you know, if I have family events and stuff, it's on the weekend. And by the time I do all of that, I'm not going to come home and get on that treadmill. So I do want to do that today. Trade of it's working fine for you. The day after sore muscle. Yeah. And normally I'm not sore the next day. I'll usually be sore like 2 days after. But baby, I got rid of like certain workouts and I only did probably, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I probably did like 8 to, maybe like 10 to 12 different workouts. And I just did 8 reps each, 8 to 10 reps. And I did 2 cycles of that. And I just left it there. I built muscle very quickly and I don't like a super toned body on women, me personally. There's just sometimes you just got a little too muscle for me. So that's why I don't do 3 cycles and I never have. And I built muscles in my arms the fastest and I hate it. I mean, I ain't trying to be flabby patty out here, but I don't want to look like I got guns walking around, you know? So I'm trying to, that open range trade question for the 5th day in a row. Pip Popper is a crazy name. Oh, people. Caught up there. Y'all, why do I still have so many DMs? 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 17, 18, 22. I got 32 messages I gotta read. The rules reminder thing messed me up and blew a few PAs like 6. That's your own fault. Alright, I'm going to show you guys the account so I can show y'all what the trail and drawdown is now on it. Because the day is done. The day is done. Alright, so I could have taken the other accounts off, but I forgot to. Alright, so this is where we are on the account that I'm actually trading. Did make some profit on it, so almost back to $800 in drawdown. We'll see how the next 2 days go. And then I did take that one trade on Sim, which is fine. I'll have to go back and once I journal everything, I'll just figure out what my overall P&L would have been today had I not had the rhythmic issues, or not really had I not had the rhythmic issues, but even after the issues were done, had I just continued to trade after that. But to be honest with you, whenever I have issues like that, I probably would just stop trading because I just don't want to risk. I would rather risk a demo account that doesn't matter than risk evals or even PAs. and that's just how it will probably always be, because I don't really have issues like that very often. So it is what it is. But that's the session for today. Session was kind of trash, but you know what? The market just was not moving, so it kind of just is what it is. It is what it is. Did you have an entry or exit in that 1050 candle? I'll keep the stream open a little bit longer for Janelle to message you back. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And Janelle, if you're still there, please answer Trench's question, because I won't turn the stream off until you see it. Definitely not trash. Thank you. I just feel, no. So I had a good session, but it just was trash because of the issues, and also because the price action was shitty. Can we, maybe after the meeting minutes, does the meeting minutes usually do anything? Y'all know I'm off the charts by then. But hopefully it'll get us some movement, and then tomorrow and Friday will actually be like a little bit normal again. But I mean, the last 2 weeks, there just was not a whole lot of volatility anyway. So I just want the market to be normal again. That's all I want. Is that too much to ask for, guys? I feel like it is at this point. No, I didn't. You're in the trade now. All right, perfect. All right, you got your answer. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy your day. Bye.